Thank you, Mr. Arunachalam, for joining us for this conversation to get the answers to how your organization is making most of the apprenticeships. The system has been there for last 61 years, but pretty much dysfunctional. The idea is to get to hear from you your experience on apprenticeship. What is your opinion, and how your organization has been executing for so many years. So before we dwell further or detail into the whole conversation, we'd just like to understand what prompted your organization to take up apprenticeship, and for how long have you been doing it?
This actually apprentices when we are recruiting. When we are starting a new businesses, we have a business recently started at Tirutani, which is a large diameter plant. These kind of apprentices help us to groom our future capability for our future capability requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And in the recent past, where we recruited about some 25 new trainees at our Tirutani plant, almost 8 people have been absorbed by us.
Oh, very good.
Resource, and we are also extending this opportunity to the deserving young youth with qualified people, those who are finding it difficult to get the job employment opportunity. And this is the one way where they'll also get benefit, and we are also getting benefit out of this. Sure. And these people are very disciplined in a way, more than the recruitment what we do it in the regular stream.
I see.
That is how it helps us it gives us more flavor recruiting these people.
Fantastic. But it's been how long your organization has been doing?
Yeah, our organization is almost more than 50 years old. And now this apprentices also, we are having it from the beginning. Almost more than 20 years of this when the apprentices are being used in our premises. But recently in the new trainees, we are almost having it from last 1.5 years.
Okay. But apprenticeship, if you were to look at just the apprenticeship, your organization has been doing it for over 2 decades now.
Yes.
Act.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So what are the areas where you utilize these apprentices? Which are the job roles where these people are being deployed?
Actually, these apprentices are used in various levels, even from operatives to the staff.
Okay.
The apprentices were graduate engineers. We engage them in our apprenticeship scheme. They are now supervisors. Those who are being elevated to the managerial level some point in time. They have got an opportunity at every level. Even some people, those who are not completed their diploma because of their arrears and things like that. These people are being deployed in the operative position, where people having some qualification, where these people are getting an opportunity to go to the next level. It is everywhere it is being used.
Fantastic. So is there any qualification background specification that you hire these people? Because you mentioned you do have in staff as well as the worker level as well. So
yes,
have a defined parameters for them, and what is the kind of background they need to come from?
Yeah, actually, when we recruit apprentices for ITI and diploma holders, predominantly we use in this flow.
Okay.
Graduate engineers will be given an opportunity to groom through a level of supervisors. From there, it will be. We have 3 area level of employment, where the non-management staff, the next layer is supervisory level staff. The top layer is management staff, where these people will start from supervisory cadre. From there, will groom to the management staff. The NMS people will continue to be NMS, non-management staff.
And what number of apprentices do you take in a year? Like an annual process, or it's throughout the year that you keep hiring the apprentices? How does it happen? Do you have a quota that you hire every year?
Yeah, when it comes to this one, board of apprentice, there is a quota. Now, this name, we don't have any limitations because we are aligned with team leads like we can have the number of people, whatever we want.
But what numbers are you hiring on an annual basis? What is your intake of apprentices?
Yeah, it is an annual basis we are recruiting.
How many, sir? That's what I want to know. How many are you in?
Yeah, recently we have a number of 25 people in our new plant. Okay. And here in our old plant, which is in Avdi, where we have about some 50 people. Now we have about some 75 apprentices now.
75 apprentices. Would you want to elaborate? How do you execute your apprenticeship? What is your model? How do you go about executing apprenticeship in your organization? What is the duration of the apprenticeships?
Yes, sir. The apprentices are predominantly sourced by us. And some of the occasions where we use our NEEM agents also to support us in this process. We have designed a course where apprentice programs such a way that every apprentice is completing a basic model. We will put them first in the bench. The bench, it means that they will not sit in the bench and they will be given an assignment where they are allowed to get trained in a particular skill for a 3 months of period.
Okay.
And as per our model, on completion of 2 years and 9 months, the second person will be trained and will be in the bench for to replace him. On completion of 36th month, this person will replace that person who is going to go out.
Okay.
The 3 full months, these people under the training, we will certify their skill levels. Once we certify their skill levels, they will be moved to the next.
So you have multiple levels in your apprenticeship.
Yes, sir. In the first 3 months of time, operate. They will be only under this bench where they will get trained.
Okay. And you said, so your typical, your duration is for 3 years, or that's only for NEEM trainees that you have 3 years?
The NEEM trainees, we have it for 3 years.
And what about your that apprenticeship under the board for that? What was the duration for those apprentices?
It is 1 year. It is 1 year.
It is 1 year and 1 year. And what I could hear, what you initially said, that you said that 8 out of 25 are the apprentices that you have absorbed, which typically comes out to be roughly 30% of the people get absorbed, right?
Yes, of course. Almost 33% of people we have.
33%. But what about the graduate apprentices? When you talk about those 50 people, the graduate apprentices that you have, GETs. So what about them? Even that, the absorption rate is same or it is much higher?
Yeah, that is not in that level of 30%. In some of our other businesses where we have a door frame business, which is in Tirunelveli, which is about some 15 kilometers from our mother plant.
Okay.
We observe more of our graduate engineers.
Sure.
As they are deployed in the places where we'll check quality, and they are responsible for the quality of the product.
Okay.
Managing our customers. That way, these people are helpful to us, and we are absorbing them, and these are the graduate engineers.
So those are 100% absorption which happens?
No, it is not possible. Actually, as a business, it is not possible.
So how much percentage would that be?
If it is a new business, it is possible up to 30 to 40%.
Oh, same 30 to 40% is an average what you
if it is a new business. Otherwise, if it is an old business where already experienced and people are there in the plant, then it is the percentage of absorption is less.
Is less. Okay. So also, it has been observed that the dropout of apprentices while they're doing their apprenticeship training is also pretty high. Yes, what has been your experience on that?
Yeah, actually, even in this pandemic also, we experienced that most of the apprentices, they have gone back to their hometown. They are not back for duty. That one of the most critical thing where, because of this apprentices we are facing now. And the festivals, when it comes to festival also, when they are going home, and the ratio of people coming back also is 80% of people are turned out to be an attrition here.
Oh my God, 80%?
18 to 20%.
18 to 20%. Okay.
In the recent past, in the pandemic, it has gone up to 80, I can say. But
sure.
Normal course, it is 18 to 20% of people.
But is it only during the festival time that there is attrition, or it's
predominantly? Yes. Otherwise, it is 8 to 10%.
Otherwise, it's 8 to 10%. So that's fairly controllable, I would say that. But I would just like to hear from you that why do these apprentices leave in between? Why do they do not want to complete their apprenticeship training?
Yeah, apprentices leaving because that Chennai is a huge market where they are getting their friends are working in some other company where they are motivated by their friends. Small increase of 500 or 1,000 rupees increase. And the place, it is heavy engineering. Our set of organizations are heavy engineering. If they are getting employment in companies like sophisticated workplace.
Okay.
And some of the people, even the graduate engineers or these people, when they are getting opportunity to work in showroom like sales, when they are getting those opportunities, they are seeing that sophistication and they are moving out of this.
So is it that because they're getting an employment opportunity and they're getting much better working environment?
Yes.
Why they tend to shift? Will it be correct on my part, or there would be any more reasons?
Yes.
It's 20 years you've been doing apprenticeships. That's a fairly long time. What are the possible challenges do you face, in case if you face any?
Actually, sir, this attrition is the one challenge which I told you earlier. The
Mm-hmm.
other is that in the today's scenario, getting graduates is not at all a problem. We have enough number of graduates available in the market. When it comes to recruitment of paper molders and ITI trades, which is a challenge where we are finding it difficult to get these people. Otherwise, using these people in the premises and their discipline, the rest of the thing is excellent comparatively this other regular recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Okay.
these are the two
Okay.
major challenges.
Sure. Sure. So how do you how do you monitor the progress of these apprentices? Do you have any fixed parameters basis which you define, and how frequently do you assess their progress and assess their performance?
Yeah. Sir, we recruit apprentices and we'll put them under this bench strength. As I told you, there is one dedicated trainer who's responsible for this people. Every week they will monitor their performance, they will assess their skill wherever they have been deployed to learn the skill. And these people, once deployed in the equipment, where there are highly competent supervisors available in this upload, where they monitor their skill to train them, and our permanent strength also is huge, where these people have years of experience, about 30 years and 20 years of experience. These people are training them. On training, our supervisors are monitoring their performance, as well as our training coordinator is regularly intervening and monitoring their performance. On a regular interval, it happens.
So what are the parameters basis which you assess them?
Actually, we assess their performance based on the what I could say, that quality of product what they produce.
Quality. Okay.
Yes, the norms what they achieve.
Okay.
Actually, we have, every equipment has a cycle time, and we have norms for our permanent employee.
Okay.
We are meeting those norms. Definitely, they are also up to that level of skill what they our permanent employees are doing it.
So are you using the same norms what you have for your permanent employees? You use the same?
Initially we don't.
You initially don't.
Since it is 3 years program, we don't fix norms in line with our permanent employees. If people continue to work on a machine for more than a year, if that machine, these people can learn that, definitely we'll expect that output. They are also able to do.
Sure, sir. So apart from the quality aspect, what are the other norms that you are?
Quality and productivity are two major norms which
Productivity. Okay. Now, that's a
measure
very
it.
interesting point you touched upon, the productivity part.
Yes.
What is your definition of productivity?
Yeah, our definition of productivity is that we have a equipment where it has a cycle time. Suppose the equipment has we have a 8 hours working time, work hours in a shift. In this 8 hours, we have 420 minutes of time for producing components, other than rest hours and lunch hours, the biological breaks. This 420 minutes is nothing but 25,200 seconds. This will be calculated, and the equipment can produce a component in 70 seconds. If equipment can produce a component in 70 seconds, it will be calculated. Then the norms would be suppose 420 numbers or 450 numbers. Then we will fix a target of 85% after calculating all this fatigue and all this. This 85% is calculated, and this is fixed now.
Sorry, we lost you in between what you said.
Yeah, actually, whatever. I'll first say, I'll tell you. Suppose we're in CMT Robo, we don't have equipment here. We have it in another plant. The CMT Robo can produce a component from loading to unloading. It will take about 70 seconds to complete one process. We'll get one product. Then, if you calculate this one product with our available 25,200 seconds, we can produce about some 480 components in a shift. If 480 component, we will fix a target of 85% is 100%, because the allowances of 15% is critical allowance. Thus, 85% is targeted as 100. When people reaches that 85%, we will consider that is 100% efficiency. Some of the equipments it goes up to 20% allowances. Also, some of the equipment it goes up to 10% allowances. It is based on the ISP what we conduct.
So it is based on the output of a person per machine.
Yes,
That's how
yes,
you assess them.
yes. That is fixed based on our IE study. We have an IE engineer who will conduct an IE study of each equipment. They will assess all parameters.
So sorry, what study you mentioned? What study is this?
It is an industrial engineering study.
It's an industrial engineering study.
Yes.
So that's how you gauge the productivity of the person.
Exactly.
Very good. Very nice. Very nice. So now you say that about 40% of the people, anything 30 to 40% of people do get absorbed. Will it be prudent on my part to say that that now apprenticeship is part of your hiring strategy and talent development?
I didn't get you, sir, exactly.
I'm saying that is it be safe for me or correct on my part to say that apprenticeship is now part of your talent development strategy and your hiring strategy?
Yes, exactly. It is our part of our talent hiring strategy, where it is business, the number of absorption is higher. Whereas businesses like which is 60-year-old plant, there the percentage of absorption is less.
Yes. But if you were to compare these apprentices who eventually get absorbed in your company and they start working as an employee versus the people whom you would be directly, hiring from outside directly, external.
Yes.
And I'm talking at a fresh level. Do you make any direct fresh hires?
No, sir. Actually, for a non-management category where the permanent workforce, predominantly these people are recruited through apprenticeship scheme.
Apprenticeship only.
Running two different apprenticeship scheme earlier. One is a government approved apprenticeship scheme like Board of Apprentice. The other is a company apprentice,
Yeah.
which is developed by company because there is a limit for Board of Apprentices. Then we have developed our own apprenticeship scheme, which is
that's against the standing orders you're talking about.
Yes, it is against the standing order.
Yeah.
These people will, after 3 years of service, we'll take them into our general training category. They will be under this training for a year. Once they complete their training, we will assess their performance based on various parameters what we have, that their percentage of attendance, their productivity, their quality, their understanding of the customer, the product applications, where they can contribute to enhance the productivity in this, their level of participation in total employee involvement projects. All these parameters being reviewed, then we will consider them for an employment. This happens through two streams. One is a company apprenticeship scheme, the other is apprenticeship scheme.
Sure. But do you see the difference between the people whom you absorbed through apprenticeships versus the people whom you're hiring directly from outside?
Yeah, definitely. These people are
Productivity.
Responsible. These people are more responsible because they are more responsible than those people. Because they know that they are getting into this, they have an opportunity to get into this employment, and they will get a certificate from a reputed institute where once they complete. This will be where I could say that there is a employable skill experience where they will get into some other organization. The background check also will be there. And they are educated through where they are responsible than this.
They're responsible, but do you find them also to be more productive as compared to your external hires?
In terms of all parameters, I could say that in terms of discipline, in terms of productivity, in terms of quality, in terms of respect.
Okay. Respect also.
Yeah.
I like the word. I mean, you said respect. In what ways do you say respect? That's a very unique answer. In fact, I've got.
Yes. And the apprentices, when we recruit, the company apprentices are 10 standard and 12 standard people from where they knock the door and we are recruiting. And they, since they are educated and they know that when I respect somebody, then definitely I can gain respect from others. They are seeing this in the floor where working with people. They demonstrated by our people, then they are getting into this stream and definitely in this.
Sure. So is it that the people who grow from apprenticeships tend to stay longer in the organization as compared to your direct hires?
Please repeat me, sir.
So let's say today, if you are hiring people directly from outside,
yes,
and then there is a people from apprenticeship, they become your employee.
Yes.
So who tend to remain with the organization for a longer term? Is it these external hires or is it the apprentices who then become your employee?
If you see our organization, any person who's getting into permanent, there more than 90% of people getting retired from our organization. That is the history of our organization. I could say that it could be from other stream or it could be from apprenticeship stream.
So it's more or less the same. The longevity,
more or less it is.
That it's same.
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 years again, referring to a fairly long time. I'm sure, you've got some returns out of it. I would like to know what are the three qualitative, three quantitative outcomes that you observe from the apprenticeships.
Yeah, I could say that the quantitative benefits are cost of poor quality is less.
Cost of, sorry?
Cost of poor quality is less.
Poor quality is less, okay.
Yes, yes. And the people attitude towards our product and our people, our customer is good. And the participation in projects, it helps us to maintain our PQDCSM.
What is PQSM?
Yeah, it is productivity, quality, delivery, cost, safety and morale of other employee. Okay. It is good. It is a quantitative parameters which I could say. When it comes to qualitative, it is a continuity of service. Apprentices, what will happen that even 6 months of time and 1 year of time, they will break their service and they will move. This whatever 8 to 10% in a regular this one which I told you, the attrition rates. When it comes to that other apprenticeship scheme, it will be higher than this. The continuity of service is good. And the second is that it is a flexibility in operations. Where suppose I'm using this person here, I wanted to move this person to some other place with required training. They are very flexible to move.
Okay.
The third one is the job rotation. But because of this job rotations, they are multi-skilled.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you believe in the overall development, and you do have a job rotation as well by that.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. So do you think that over last so many years, the apprenticeship has paid off for your organization?
Yes, sir.
Has given you the desired results?
Yeah, definitely it gives a result. Yeah.
Any specific incident that you would like to share with us where you had some exceptional, the apprentice performed exceptionally
yes.
Floor, and any incident that you remember that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, some of the apprentices where they contribute in terms of their participation in terms of projects. Like we have a small group activity which is happening in our businesses, all our businesses. The participation level of these people are high. They go to getting the award from our MDs. It is a competition between each factory. The participation level of these people is high. And they are demonstrating the projects. They are getting rewards through our MD's reward program. These are some of the good
behavior that you see from them.
Behavior I could see.
Very nice. I mean, they're more participative, they're more involved.
Yes, exactly.
Very nice. So what would be your recommendation to your peers in the industry? Would you recommend apprenticeship?
Definitely will recommend apprenticeship.
And why so?
Yeah,
what would be your recommendation?
Yeah, I told you a lot of this one. Our beginning from our discussion, we have discussed. These people are very positive. Okay. Very short-term learners. Their attitude is good. We can develop them in multi-skill. In the beginning, in a new industry, it is very cost-effective employment. Over a period of time, they will groom, and when they get enhanced, the productivity also will get enhanced. We can able to compensate them. Definitely, it is a good progress for a new organization. Definitely, it is very good. Even for older organization, it is a cultural change where we can bring in. And I recommend for that.
I think that was a very appropriate recommendation that you've given. That be it a growing organization or a fairly organization, or be it an existing or a long existing organization, apprenticeship works well for either of the case. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your experience, your opinion. I think the industry is going to learn a lot from you. Your experience definitely will be inspirational for many of the organizations to take up apprenticeships. Thank you so much.
Thank you.